my Taurians. How are you guys? All right, let's jump on into this. So, Taurus, I decided to do a pre-shuffle out of a deck because I wanted to start with, it poses a question, okay? So we got the Lover's card, so Gemini energy, but the question posed by this particular card is, can we love someone without losing ourselves entirely, or changing so much about ourselves, or get, it's great to merge, but what if we sacrifice too much of, who we are, our own thoughts, opinions, likes and dislikes, and all of that? So again, this is just a broad question for whomever our lead character is going to turn out to be. Sometimes a lead character is not the Taurus. Sometimes it's someone else entirely differently. So let's just see. Because this could talk about, like, we're seeing that, 5 of air. My. This is somebody who might act very differently when they're around someone else. They may actually be behaving. You notice how she's 5 of air is like, it's disruptive energy because it's energy of like hostile even. And we see that she's like calling out, right? But it's like what comes out of her mouth are these dragons that are circling around this little angel. It's like the words that come out of her mouth are kind of hostile. They're kind of barbed. Like, if we could see what our words looked like, her words are ugly. This could be a situation where we observe somebody who's in a romance with somebody. It's like, wow, they act like a whole different person, and I don't even like who they act like. They're petty, or they're jealous, or they're mean-spirited, and maybe it's because they're in a partnership where they're trying to cling to somebody who they don't really feel secure in it. So I see them being like petty and catty with other friends. This could be someone who, this is 3 women standing here together. It's almost like when this could be a situation where it's like, wow, I'm totally observing somebody's bad behavior because they're with someone, and maybe they're always afraid that everybody else wants their mate. So they're always on the defensive, and they're the last person to know it. This could be like, whoever the lead character is, the question is being posed to them, and we're observing all of this happening, right? Okay, let's get another card here. So is the Taurus aware that someone acts like rude out of a state of jealousy, or because they're in a romance? We've got an Ace of Air in the reverse and the 5 of Earth in the reverse. Someone is totally unaware that they may be behaving this way. This could also be somebody who's like really full of themselves, like, well, I'm in a great relationship. I'm married to the greatest person ever, and so bad for you that you can't ever seem to get the correct relationship. This could be somebody who's like actually down talking to their friends, like really flaunting, because there's something here about like they're totally unaware that all they keep doing is saying, well, I've got it made. I'm not alone. See, I'm not single because I must have been the prize. This is kind of a weird message, but I don't know how else to interpret it. There is a sour note to all of this. And I feel as if this behavior that somebody is observing, this streak of jealousy, or this streak of like preening and just being kind of like, this person is like, oh my God, I cannot even be around this person right now. They are driving me nuts with their attitude. And I feel like they don't know that this is so not okay. They may not even be aware that they're acting like this, but it's really getting on everybody's nerves, is what this looks like. 5 of Water. This person's going to run the risk of pushing good friends away, alienating people, but this person could also be, I have to say, this could all be a huge facade. Okay, our storyline has just taken a really big turn because of this 5 of Water, and we see, this mermaid is sitting here weeping. Is it that behind the scenes, this person is miserable? They're acting like everything is fine. Is the Taurus seeing Okay, so now we got to say, because of the Lovers card, which can be a choice between lovers, if the Taurus is seeing their ex and the ex is like over the top, lovey-dovey, I'm so in love, I have the greatest person ever, and the Taurus is going, like, that's not even language you would use. Like, I know you. We were together before, and that's not how you acted. Like, this is a fake version of you. But everything that they say is said with a little bit of a barb. It's a little bit of like, oh, well, now I'm with a really great person, and all kinds of stuff. It's almost like I think that this person, Taurus, is like, I don't know why you're acting like this. I don't know if you think you're trying to make me jealous, or if you're actually the one who's jealous of me and you're miserable, so you're trying to tell me how happy you are with somebody else. Sorry, this is kind of like high drama in this one, but that's one storyline that I see here, right? Remember, these are fictional stories about fictional characters, and I say that because I'm not a psychic, so I'm not telling you anything about your personal life. This is all just about the characters, but the behavior is what we're observing, right? That's what I develop these stories for, is like, how are characters behaving and why? And that's the part that gives us some, like, well, this is entertaining on one hand, but it's also like, why would someone act like that? How could they behave better? And it brings up like philosophical dialogue, right? As we look at these characters' behavior. This is a storyline that it looks like I'm leaning toward. It's somebody who's actually pretending to be really happy, and it's a facade. They're super miserable right now. Okay. How are they feeling then about the Taurus, if that's the storyline? And again, it could still just be that this is friends that are chit-chatting, going like, I seriously don't even want to be around Susie, because, sorry, I have a great sister named Susie. This is not any knock at the Susies out there. I've just randomly picked a name. But there's someone out there who is like our friend, but the way they're behaving, they're acting so different. They're kind of hostile toward us. They're full of themselves. Why are they acting like this? Are they jealous? They don't want us to be around their mate. They think we're going to steal their mate. And it's like, I don't even want to be around Susie right now because of the behavior. And Susie could wind up being pretty lonely, pretty sad. Sorry, that's just like one other storyline that potentially this could be. But we got a 10 of water in the reverse, and we got the 3 of air in the reverse. So 10 of cups, 3 of swords. This person is miserably unhappy and trying to hide it, trying to act like there's not a thing wrong. Now, I got to say, to me, this looks like someone is trying very hard to pretend that they're not brokenhearted when indeed they are. And they're putting on this show specifically, I guess, for Taurus. Tell me about that. The Hermit. This person, this is crazy. This is almost like, are they not even with somebody and they're lying and pretending that they're with somebody, and that's why they're being defensive about it too? Like, you never see the new boyfriend or girlfriend because they're not really out there. This person is actually alone. Or is it saying this person just doesn't want to be alone and they feel more alone than they have in a long time? And that's why it's like, everything is so great. You know what? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I mean, the Hermit card says somebody needs to go do some soul searching. What do we just get on the floor there? We got the 9 of Wands and we got the Tower in the reverse for the Tower. It boils back down to the thing that somebody doesn't want is to have this be over. It's that simple. They really want this connection still. They don't want this to be over. They want to still fight for this, but instead, man, they're making a mess of things because they're not doing any of the things that their heart really wants to. They're faking, they're being hostile, they're acting in a confusing manner, they're really sad, and they're trying to put on a good show of how everything's great when it's the exact opposite of great. They don't want this to be over. Are they going to take any action toward the Taurus then? We got a Queen of Coins. Yes. In this case, I mean, this is the Taurus. The thing is, what they want, I almost wonder, oh my gosh, it's going to get more layers of kind of some drama here. Are they going to take action toward the Taurus? And I'm saying yes, but there's a caveat to this. They want the Taurus to give them energy, attention, and nurturing. It's almost like, is this person going to have like if this 5 of Cups is like somebody who at 2:30 in the morning, they call the Taurus a little sloshed and they say, I'm so unhappy. I miss you. I don't want this to be over. And it's like, wait a second, I just saw you, bumped into you at dinner or saw your Facebook posts and then bumped into you at our mutual friend's house where all you did is rave about the amazing romance you're in and how you're happier than you've ever been. And now 4 hours later, it's 2 a.m. and you're calling me to tell me you're so lonely, you miss me, and you really want this not to be over. It feels like it could be one of those things, but it's like, because I want the Taurus to give to me again. That's what we have in this storyline. All right, the Taurus. How's the Taurus feel about this? I almost want to say that this is a little bit of like, the fronting was definitely not the right plan for this person, but I think they were trying to convince themselves of this. Taurus is the 6 of Swords sideways. Taurus still has one foot totally out already, and then one foot where they're like, oh dear, I thought this was over. I thought this was ending. I thought that I was moving on, but this is giving me pause. Okay, why is the Taurus pausing a little bit to think about this? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just asking, like, why did that card come out sideways? What aspect of this is making them pause? We have got Emperor in the upright, the 9 of Cups in the reverse, the Knight coins in the reverse, and the 5 of Swords in the reverse, because this person finally said something real. Remember before they were being like just insufferable. Everything that they said was barbed, it was sharp, it was unpleasant, it was braggadocious, as well as intended to be like, yeah, well, I'm so happy now. I guess I didn't know how happy I could be until, well, I met the right partner, something like that. And then 4 hours later, they're calling to say, all that was a lie. I'm miserable without you. I was trying to act like I'm happy without you, and I'm not. I'm having a meltdown over here. That is actually the only reason that the Taurus is pausing, is because they're like, okay, finally they're not being insufferable. Finally, they're saying something real. Might be at 2 a.m., but they're saying something real. Would I want to, maybe it's even like, wow, I can't believe this person actually, they bucked up. They really said something that was true. That is something that, this person is standing there saying something real about, I am not happy and I can't keep lying about this. That's them owning something. I feel like Taurus is like, well done. You said something real. You said something true. You admit that you're unhappy. That's a long, slow road with a lot of work that would still need to be done. But there is a potential that could this be healed? It's like the Taurus is thinking about it, going, if this person could be strong and could be open and honest all the time, this could go somewhere. If they weren't hostile anymore, this could go somewhere. Is this a turning point? Is this person going to start behaving differently? Or is this just a 2 a.m. I'm sad phone call? What do they really want with a Taurus long term? What do they really want with a Taurus long term? Remember, don't use my fictional storytelling to make decisions about your own real life, right? This is, I say that because I'm like, we're going to ask, what does this person want long term? And they want their Taurus, the Hierophant. They want marriage and commitment. But the thing is, they actually want it now. It's not that they want to do it later. They want it now. They want to lock this down. It's almost like, no, I'm making this like grabby motion with my hands, even because it's like, I want the Taurus close to me. I'm picturing somebody who like just wants to like wrap like a spider monkey, like wrap their arms around the Taurus and like, no. I felt like you were gone. I was miserable. Now I just want you to hold me. I want you to be here. I want us to be married. I want us to be long-term, and I want it now so that I know that I have you, that, promise me that you're staying, kind of thing. Like, I don't want to work on things. I want first the promise that we're staying together and we already create security. So it kind of feels like this really, like this pendulum swings like, oh, I'm so good without you. And then 4 hours later, it's like, oh my God, I'm so miserable and I can't hide this and I have to just say it all. And please come back to me and please, let's make this serious and let's do this now. And then we'll work out the details after we've made this big commitment. So this person is there's a little air of like, I think I'm not going to use the word desperation because I think like I feel a real sense of compassion for this entire thing. Somebody trying so hard to act like everything's okay, acting like a jerk actually because of that. Like I'm not giving anybody a pass, but I'm just saying big emotions, big losses, and trying in all the wrong ways to act like we're fine about it. It's not a shock that someone would act like a total fool. And that's what we saw here is this character. I'm just trying to be like upfront, like not awesome choices that they made, but this person, this is serious devastation. That kind of sadness, trying to hide that kind of sadness made this character kind of act in a really all kinds of crazy ways, and it's like trying to pretend that everything's okay when it's not. That doesn't last for so long before, there's cracks in that facade, right? And that's what we saw. This person, the facade cracks, and then they go full on in it, which is all I want is you back. I mean, and I don't just want you back. Like I want a connection that feels safe and secure. I want to not feel like this anymore, to not feel like you're gone out of my life. That's what I want. I want you not gone. I want you with me. So this person's trying to get things back on track, like immediately, even though right now it's mostly like from a place of need. Like, I want to know that you're not going to be gone. What about the Taurus? Like, what's their Five of Wands? The Taurus is still like kind of struggling with this. Like, there's a lot to think about because it's not like they want to overcommit when it's like, but are we going to be healthy? Like the things that made us not work in the first place. That lovers is the choice, right? Are we choosing to be together? Are we choosing to be together for the right reasons? Are we choosing to be healthy? Does this person know who they are enough to choose a healthy choice for themselves? It's almost like Taurus is thinking about all of it, both for them and for this person, which, makes sense because this seems like some pretty big pendulum swings, and it's all about really big topics. So we have Chariot and we have the Eight of Swords. It's almost like Taurus is going to say, look, I'm going to give this a chance. You know what? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff we'd still have to work out, but I'm going to give this a chance to move forward together and really see what if we both gave it our all. Meaning if I give my all to this and they still don't show up with as much consistency, or they try to get me back and then immediately they're like, oh cool, I got you, and now I don't have to be a good partner anymore. I don't think Taurus will have any problem heading for the road again. But I also think in this case they're like, look, let's first be legit. There's still a lot of stuff we're going to have to work through, but I'm not going to block the fact that if I really want this with you still, and if you're coming clean, and if there's a potential that you're going to be an emperor now, you're going to own it. You're going to say your truth. You're going to really tell me that I matter, and you're really going to show it, and you're going to show up in the relationship, and you're going to give to this. Well, I want to do it too. I don't want to sabotage. The Taurus is like at a very mature position throughout all of this. It's like, I'm going to see it for what it is, but I'm also going to be honest. If I actually would like this to work out, I can't hold back and fake like I don't, or kind of step a toe in, but never really give it my all. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to give it my all, and I'm not going to be stuck, and I'm not going to hold back and worry if it doesn't work out, because the bottom line is, if after I've put my energy in, if I don't see that this person is consistent, they've made real change, and they're really putting their whole heart and soul into this, then I got no problem leaving, because I almost left before. So it's kind of like the Taurus is saying, I will give this my sincere attention and give this another shot, because I would like to, and I would like to see this work. So I will be honest with myself, and I will give it my best shot. And then whatever happens, I'll cross that road when I get there. Is there anything for a potential outcome for these two? We got an 8 of Cups. That can be walking away. That can be turning our back on something and walking away. But remember, there are things that both of them have to walk away from, right? The person who was not being honest has got to, but we got the Justice card there in the upright, and we got the 10 of Coins in the reverse. What I'm going to say is this. Because of the Justice card, this says, if things are not balanced, there will be nothing that will hold this Taurus here. If this cannot be balanced, the Taurus will absolutely walk out that door, because they're not about to give 9 pentacles and that person only has to give 1. They're not about to, be giving everything they've got and not getting equal treatment. So one whiff of imbalance and the Taurus is gone. So if this person mostly wants a Taurus because you make my life so good and I want you to keep making my life good. If that's their only sentence, instead of you make my life so good, and not only do I want that goodness in my life, but I want to make your life good too. I want to be a partner. If they don't follow it with that other sentence, it's and through action, not just words, then this will be no problem for the Taurus to walk away. So they're willing to give it another shot, but this is still a potential of what could happen if this character who is desperate to hold on to the Taurus doesn't actually show up and make significant change. Are they going to? I mean, every character, that's a daily choice, right? That's a minute by minute choice that they're going to have to make. Am I really going to show up? Am I really going to be good to the Taurus to make sure that the Taurus is wanting to stay with me? Partners should try to make each other happy. We've got the Knight of Wands. This is somebody, I mean, they have a lot of passion. They do. But this is also like a lot of sensuality. This is a lot of like, in the moment, I mean this so much, and I really want this, and I really, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are attractive, you are the person that I desire. It is still a knight, though, and knights are basically, there's still a lack of maturity here. And all throughout this person has displayed kind of a lack of maturity in this storyline. They do really want this, though. And desire for something has to be there, and then follow through has to come after that. But could this work? It could, but there's a lot of things that have to mature. There's a lot of things that have to happen here. And it's almost like the Taurus kind of was thinking, is this person showing up like an emperor now? But they still kind of are coming across as a knight. So the Taurus might be thinking that they and this person are on the same maturity level, when in fact it could still be imbalanced. And that could be a problem, because even though they maybe want the Taurus, even for the right reasons, the question is, but are they going to give in return? That knight can be kind of, I'm going to say, a little self-serving. Does the universe have any message or any word of advice on this? And then we'll wrap this one up. Sorry, it's getting so long. 5 of Staves, again, is exactly the card that we already saw for the Taurus, which was the 5 of Wands, 5 of Staves. This is not, if two people are approaching things from different maturity levels, there's going to be compromise. There's going to be conversations that are going to be difficult that have to be had. There's going to be things that have to be hashed out. There's going to be a lot of practice. So this is because it would be like, okay, say you have a business and you hire somebody, and say they're fresh out of college. They're totally qualified, but they have no job experience yet, and you hire them to work in your company. You know that at first they've got to learn how everything happens at your company, because real world experience is significantly different than classroom experience, right? So that's a case of, it doesn't have to be maturity about like what age somebody is, or even like whatever, like emotional intelligence. It could have everything to do with life experience being in relationships. That knight may not have ever been in really long-term successful relationships that were like healthy. This might be their first time doing this. So are they coming in totally equipped? Do they see the situation with the same eyes? No, because they have no reference point for it. So this is one of those cards that says, doesn't mean that this can't work. Does mean that a lot of things have to change, because a 5 is a number of change. But the thing is, change is good. And if we can communicate, if we can sit down and calm things down and communicate about what's not working and look at it like, okay, maybe my partner hasn't done this before, so they don't have the same perspective that I have. And also still being receptive to the idea that when somebody first comes out of college and they start working at a company, they're up to date on the newest information that they just learned. Whereas if we've been doing a job for 25 years, we learned stuff 25 years ago and we get into a routine, and maybe we haven't, updated some of our skills or some of our machines or, whatever it is. Same thing. It doesn't mean that we can't learn something from someone who is at a different maturity level. If we can sit down and we can talk and have value, because the big thing is, we don't want this to turn into you're my kid and I'm your parent and I have to teach you how to behave. That's not going to work for a love romance, right? That's going to get ugly real fast. So this says there's a lot of stuff that would have to be worked on, communicated about, and before we can get into the temple. I think that's like a fair assessment of a situation that's already had some bumpy roads. And if we're going to get back together, let's not have any illusions that, oh, it's going to be so perfect and everything's going to be ideal, because it may not be. There's going to be ups and downs, and we both see things through different eyes, and again, maybe through very different lenses. So I kind of liked this one. As always, guys, tell me, what did you think of these characters? Did you like these characters? How would you have done things different? Obviously I can't tell any story other than what cards come out. So bear that in mind when you make comments about the characters, because sometimes people will write, well, this happened and that happened, but they're applying their life to it, and then they're saying all these other things that were never supported by the cards that came out. So I can only tell a story of the cards. And then please do remember, they're not your life stories. This is all fiction, but we may, as humans, we go through similar stuff. So even fictional characters, we can go, yeah, but I didn't like that, or I didn't, I don't agree with that. Like, totally, like, think about it. Tell me what you think. I'm totally open to it. That's why I leave the comments on, so you guys can share your wisdom, your knowledge, your thoughts. But like I say, just keep it like, good discourse, good dialogue, and focus on the characters, not on like attacks. I say this only because I think framing the storytelling in that context, it makes it much more palatable, and it makes it like it's easier to hear it, and like have more fun on the channel when you listen to these stories. So, all right, you guys, take care, and thanks again for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. Bye.